And while I have heard so many comments about the government is not doing this, the government is not doing that, the experience that we have around the world, if there is a market demand, this will change. It is like flying. If you have speed, which is the market demand, and this country has a huge market demand, eventually all the turbulences, everything will go away. It's just one minister that needs to change and be brave enough and change all of that. So for me, the perspective is actually very, very bright. The whole world has gone that way. The whole world is doing what is happening here. The difference is only in the time that it's going to take from here to one day actually this happening. So from my perspective, from what I've seen elsewhere, the future is bright. Yes, there are challenges in financing aircraft, but all of that gets changed when there is this demand. The forces come together. Now, let me explain what happens when people build new facilities. When you build a new facility, either terminal or an airport, you have a unique opportunity to actually put together a facility that is ready for the future, the facility that represents your business the best possible way. But there are challenges that you need to overcome. And one of the biggest challenges that the construction of new facilities is facing is the risk. Today, we have airports that are being delayed in some, I would say, very decent countries. One of them is Germany. Germany is a symbol for quality, timeliness, and everything else. They actually are probably 2 to 3 years building their capital airport. You wouldn't expect this in that country. So the risk aversion of these people who are building is a very big component. On the other side, you want to innovate, you want to put the new technology, so you want to be a leading, not necessarily bleeding edge. And this has to be balanced. And there are the other two components I'm not going to talk much about, but there are people, stakeholders, whoever is involved over there. So while that's a great opportunity, there needs to be some balance between the priorities that you are taking. Now, a lot is being said about the quality of service, about passenger satisfaction and so on. But in my terms, there are three main components that the airport does. One is the secure and safe throughput of passengers, of baggage, similar thing is aircraft turnaround. But behind all of that is the technology. Without technology, none of that would be possible. And it has never been a time like it is today where technology is expected to solve all these problems that are in these processes. Now, all of that is a promise that you can go into the future, but at the same time, you need to be able to operate in the environment which is a construction environment. For many IT companies, who are not understanding construction, going to a construction site is a nightmare. You need to understand many important things, and I would say the biggest thing that you need to understand is that construction site has got a health and safety management, and nothing closes the complete site faster than an accident. Now, when you look at how much it costs to actually build an airport, it's about, for a medium-sized terminal, not airport, about 1 million a day. So you can imagine if you are delayed by a couple of days, pretty much all the gains that you are making that month, they are lost. So as an IT provider, you need to understand how to integrate your program, which is the IT program and technology program, into the construction program. It is not, like many IT people would say, it's connecting systems and data. Now, I was going to explain why, in the end, system integration or master system integration is required. But essentially, if we go through the history, how we got to where we are, is that in early days there was not many passengers, there were not many passengers. It was a glamorous thing and you could do everything direct. As the economy improved, as the more people flew, you became with dedicated airlines, you became with common use, and eventually you are running private airports as businesses, and you need all that efficiency. And you need to have an integrated airport with all the technology put together, so that that technology can deliver what is the most critical, which is the operating efficiency. Now, if we go to a typical construction, generally there is a construction company, for example, GVK, GMR, Larsen & Toubro, they take over the complete construction, and then they separate different parts of that particular construction. And there are typical ones like foundation and envelope and mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and so on. The last bit is the technology. what happens is that because technology is so diverse, there are a number of different packages within this technology. And the premise that we are putting forward is that for you to be efficient, you need to put all this technology under one umbrella. And that the people who are implementing technology understand your environment and are conforming to the rules of the construction. So, if you put technology under one umbrella and integrate all this technology, you have achieved all these results that you have here. One important thing is that technology, and we who are providing technology, especially software, we believe that we are magic. And when construction company calls us a trade, we get offended because we are not plumbers, we are not electricians. But in the construction environment, technology is just one trade, like it's painting or any other. So if you don't understand that, and if you don't integrate your implementation program of technology in the construction environment with all these airports or the investments that I was talking about, this program fails. And in many, many cases, the technology becomes the main sticking point. In Germany that I mentioned, it was the fire alarm system that in the end failed. So all that investment in billions of dollars was dependent on one particular small piece of technology, but important piece of technology. So, to summarize, there is a traffic growth, there is a huge demand for capacity, there are investments made in this capacity, and this capacity will be fulfilled despite all the difficulties that the companies are facing in funding, in constructing, in time. So, if you are going into construction, ensure that your technology comes under one umbrella, that is integrated, and that is done by companies who actually understand the difference between technology implemented in